Hey y'all, today I'm going to make with you Miss Frances chocolate pie, and everything she makes is just to die for. It's so yummy. And actually she and I went to see Hoyt and Susie in Lawrenceburg the other day, and we made her pie and it was lots of fun. But I thought I'd make it here today to show you kind of step by step, and might be just a tiny bit easier. So the first thing we're going to, I have her recipe right here. It's in my book. The first thing we're going to do is mix the first 3 ingredients together, which is a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 3 tablespoons of cocoa. So basically you just blend that together, you know, just like we say whenever we're doing dry and wet ingredients, you mix the dry ingredients together first, and it just makes it a little bit easier to for it to come out exactly right. Now I have my crust in the oven, so it looks good. And on this pie, because you don't ever bake it, you need to bake your crust first. So it's about 20 minutes in a 350-degree oven. So anyway, you can see we have these things mixed up together. I'm trying my best to get a good camera angle so y'all can see it. And then what you do is, I have back on the back of my stove 1 cup of boiling water. And so she said that you add this slowly while you're stirring. So I'm going to stir, stir, stir. And you see I'm using a cast iron skillet. And in fact, we had, whenever we went down to Hoyt and Susie's, we had another skillet to use. But she asked Hoyt to get out his cast iron skillet. So he did. And that's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to make it in this cast iron skillet. And you know, honestly, there are a lot of advantages to using cast iron. So that's what we're going to do. So you can see I'm very slowly mixing in the hot water with this chocolate mixture so that it'll get ingrained really well. And I'm using a whisk. I think I have a spatula right over here. I can switch to that if I need to, and I might need to in just a minute. But you whisk and whisk and whisk until everything is smooth. We had most fun the other day. Every time I bring Miss Frances to Lawrenceburg, she meets people that she sees people that have known her in the past, and they are always so happy to see her because she's just one of those people that everybody that she's come across, she touches, her life touches, because she's so kind, and everybody just loves her. So it's a lot of fun, actually, to see. We met someone, we went to this barbecue place in Etheridge, actually, where the Amish country is, and it's brand new, and we went there to eat. And a lady who was working there remembered her. She used to work at her doctor's office, so she remembered that from a long time ago, and it was just really sweet. So here we go. So we have this, and I'm going to turn on my burner. It's all mixed together, and I probably should have turned on my burner just a little bit earlier, but it heats up. This part of the burner heats up really fast, so I think we'll be good. And so I'm just going to stir and stir and stir. And then what you do is, so you stir and stir and stir. And that's what we did the other day. We stirred and we stirred and we stirred. But we added the ingredients. There were 3 of us in the kitchen. So, you know, whenever there's more than one person in the kitchen, sometimes you just do things a little bit differently. But I thought today I would actually follow the recipe perfectly. So I'm going to make sure this is getting, I'm kind of making a mess, y'all. Shocker. I just make a mess when I cook. I can't help it. Okay, so it's heating up. And now we're going to just stir and stir and stir. So I hope y'all are doing well. It's allergy season here. It's beautiful outside, so we want to sit outside. But the allergies have gotten me this year, I'll tell you. I don't know why. But especially my eyes. I mean, like, I've had a really hard time But I am grateful for the beautiful weather. It's just so pretty outside. Even in the evening, it's just so pretty. So we've been enjoying it and sitting outside. Okay, I'm stirring and stirring and stirring while this is cooking. And sometimes it takes about 7 to 10 minutes actually to stir this. So you have to be patient. But I'm just telling you, the end result is amazing. And if you have my book, you've read that this is the first thing that Miss Frances ever made for me. I went to meet her at her house, and she had this chocolate pie, and we sat down and on her couch, and we had never met before. I knew her son, but we literally talked for 3.5 hours about cooking and life and all like that. And so it's just been so sweet because I just love her to death, and we've enjoyed each other's company ever since. We have a lot of fun together. Okay, so this is cooking, and it's going to take it a minute. Oops, I've had it on the burner that night. It's going to take it a minute to cook. So while that's happening, I had to separate 3 eggs. And you know, if you separate eggs when they're cold, it's better. They separate easier. But if you have to make a meringue, which we're going to have to do in just a minute, it's easier to make it whenever the egg whites aren't quite so cold. So you mix 3 eggs in a stick of soft or melted butter. So I'm going to do that. Just beat it up really well until it's all incorporated. While I'm doing this, I want to thank everybody who's following me, and please share these videos. I don't quite understand how all that works when you share, but you get a lot more people. But I sure would appreciate it if you share. Thank you for liking my page, subscribing on YouTube. It just means so much to me, and we appreciate it. I feel like we're one big happy family, and that we're really blessed to have each other. So anyway, okay, so there are the eggs and the butter stirred up together. I'm going to get just a big spoon, sorry. And I'm going to put a little bit, okay, let me turn this down a little bit. It's heating up pretty good in here, and that's called tempering the eggs. And you do that because you don't want your eggs to scramble. So you put a little bit of your warm or hot liquid in your eggs and beat them up. And then you can pour it back in your total mixture because the eggs then will not scramble. So here we go. Let's do that. We've added all of our water. Now we're adding our eggs and butter, and we're going to beat these in together really well. And this is already coming together, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, what I'm going to do with the egg whites is make a meringue. So the way you make a meringue is you beat it with I just use my little handheld beater, and you beat it until it kind of forms some peaks, and then you add, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. So you add just a little bit of sugar, and then it's ready to put on top of the pie. And I said you don't bake this pie. You do bake it long enough to brown the meringue. So here you go, y'all. It has already come together. It's absolutely beautiful, smooth as can be. And the trick is, though, now don't forget that on the recipe it said that to mix the eggs and the butter together before you put them with your main pie filling. And here is the main pie filling, and it is gorgeous, as you can see, just so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to step away for a minute, and I'm going to put this pie filling in our crust, and then beat the egg whites, put the meringue on the pie, and then I'll show you what we have. Okay, y'all, so I beat my meringue until it had stiff peaks. And whenever it was almost done, I added 3 tablespoons of sugar slowly. And you can see now it's got some beautiful peaks. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on top of the pie. The pie has cooled just enough because, you know, when you first put your pie filling in your pie crust, it's kind of warm. So you need to let it cool just a minute. And then beat your egg whites while you're waiting and add a little bit of sugar. And then put your egg whites on your pie and spread it around. Now, I have been a little shy, to be honest, about making meringue over the years, but I'm much better with it now. So I think that I'll make them more often now that I've done it a couple of times and it's been so successful. So it's really not hard at all. You just have to do it. So I'm going to spread it around first so it'll hit all of the sides of the pie, and then I'm going to just make little peaks. Just take your spoon and dollop it. Well, here, you can see it. Here, sorry, I'm trying to do it with this different angle. So you just take your spoon, I'm going to hold it, and dollop it. You see? And then it makes those pretty little peaks. And that way, whenever you are browning your meringue, those little peaks get really brown. So it makes this pie just super pretty. Okay, so my oven's heated again to 350. I'm going to put it in, let it brown a little bit, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, y'all, so here's our beautiful pie. Chocolate meringue pie from Miss Frances. Bon appetit, y'all.